Lou scrolls Reddit on his dirty phone. He's disgusted with himself. $100,000? How can I get that much money? He asks while looking at his report card. You've only been practicing coding for a few weeks, Lou. Have some patience. Bob has the GitHub profile of a young Mark Zuckerberg. These results didn't arrive in a week, a month, or even a year. Bob has been learning how to code for years. In fact, when Bob was still in his womb, he was still committing changes. This is how Bob built the perfect GitHub portfolio. I remember when I was in university, okay? We were learning Java for the very first time. This was week 1, quarter 1, year 1, the first lectures. The guy would put all of the week's topics on the board and we would sit there and say, okay, this is what we need to learn for the next 2 months. And so this friend, let's call him Johan. Johan and I would go to class and we'd be really excited to learn the next thing. We had some basic coding experience, but nothing much. Along with my friend and I, we also had a bunch of other friends that didn't really care about what was being taught. They were just happy that they were in university. You see, Johan and I would go and master Java. We would go and study weeks in advance, doing all the exercises, making sure we actually understood the concepts. And the other friends, however, they didn't. They stayed away, they partied, they did their. Don't get me wrong, Johan and I partied too, but we also made sure to prioritize our mastery of the subject, where Johan and I would teach ourselves about the subject versus the other people who would wait for the lecturer to teach them during the lecture. We obviously had a hidden advantage. For the exams, he and I would get really high grades while everybody else in our friend group wouldn't. They would get lower grades and probably even failing grades. And then they would have the guts to blame it on outside forces, or they would make themselves the victim and say, oh, coding is not for me, I'm not a coder. Translate this to now, when we're early on in our career and we're actually becoming software engineers. Today, the same thing applies. We teach ourselves things. We make sure to learn things ourselves. Let's take something very small, for example, like how does a user get logged in? Okay, that simple process of, okay, I'm not gonna show Bob stuff to Lou, and I'm not going to show Lou stuff to Bob, right? I need to make sure that the person logged in is the right person. That whole process is called authentication. Now, what you would do is you would go and try to find out what topic in software engineering it is all about. Some people might not know that that's about authentication, right? Now you have ChatGPT. You can just ask it questions and know exactly what you need to learn, what you need to look up. So something as simple as that, learning things yourself, studying things yourself is the most valuable thing you can do as a software engineer. Today, Johan and I, we have great careers. We can create whatever we want on the internet. While the other people, those developers that wait to be taught things rather than teach things themselves, they're the ones that are struggling to get off on their career. I'm going to give you one actionable step today to kickstart your own self-study path, okay? I'm going to give you 4 options to go master. Number 1, front end. Number 2, back end. Number 3, databases. Number 4, deployment. If you master these 4 things, they will pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to go work for them, all right? But let's start with 1. Choose one of these 4 things and go master it. I want you to go obsess about it for a week. Don't just sit there and watch tutorials. No, go make one. If you're gonna go make a front end, go build a nice front end. If you're gonna make a server, if you pick back end, go make an API. If you're gonna make a database, make a nice database. If you're gonna go deploy something, pick a project to go deploy and deploy it yourself. Now, these skills, trust me, my friend, these skills, they're not that hard. They're quite easy. The only thing stopping you right now to where you wanna be is just putting in the effort. Use Google, use ChatGPT to explain how to get things done. All right? If you do this, if you choose one of these and go obsess about it and learn a new skill, teach yourself something, it's called meta learning. Meta learning kind of is like teaching things to yourself, okay? If you can teach yourself, you are 100% farther than anyone else in your community. Nobody can even touch you. The best developers are able to teach themselves things. Once you start mixing with senior developers, once you start getting knowledge from these senior developers, then you're on the next level. If a senior developer tells you you need to go learn this, this, and this, and you go home and you actually teach yourself those things, you'll be rich in a matter of no time. You'll be literally retired by 40, 50, you know what I mean? Like early. If you can't find a solid path to learn one of these 4 things, front end, back end, deployment, or database, click the link below in the description. Come talk to me. Come find me and ask me these questions. I will gladly help you. If it's not me, it's one of my goddamn other fantastic developers that'll help you figure out the road, the path that you need to take to actually learn these things, okay? All right, let's go build great things, man. Teach yourself great things, man. Alright? Life is a gift given by the gods to make a proper use of it. I'll check you in the next video. Take it easy. Take care. Bye.